Hi guys, it's Fentony. In this Game of Thrones video, I'm going to be talking about a theory on which sword Jon Snow will use in the War for the Dawn. This video is going to feature spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would not watch this video. A lot of my theory videos are going to start including spoilers, as now that I've seen these spoilers, it's impossible for me to make theories and not talk about them, or at least not build my theories with them in mind. Jon Snow currently has his Valyrian steel sword, Longclaw, which was the ancestral sword of House Mormont. The 997th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, Jeor Mormont, gave Longclaw to Jon Snow after Jon saved his life from a wight in Season 1. Ever since then, Longclaw has become Jon Snow's main weapon, and he has put the sword to very good use. Jon has wielded Longclaw into many battles, and he has killed 2 White Walkers with it. The sword is made from Valyrian steel, which can kill White Walkers, so the sword is extremely useful to Jon in the War for the Dawn. In Season 7, Jon tried to give Longclaw back to Jorah Mormont, who once wielded the blade, before he gave it back to his father, before he fled to Essos, in exile. But Jorah refused the sword, as he says it belongs to Jon Snow now, and his future children. In recent filming news, we saw Jon Snow and Cersei Lannister together in King's Landing, but Jon Snow doesn't have Longclaw. Perhaps it's been taken off him, perhaps he's lost it in battle, or perhaps something else has happened to it. So what other swords could Jon Snow wield? Perhaps Ice, the ancestral Valyrian steel sword of House Stark, which no longer exists. Tywin Lannister had this sword melted down and remade into 2 new swords, one for his son Jaime Lannister. Jaime did give the blade to Brienne of Tarth, who would name the sword Oathkeeper, and as of the end of Season 7, she still has it. The other sword was given to Joffrey Baratheon, who named it Widow's Wail. After Joffrey's death, the sword might have passed down to Tommen, but after Tommen's death, Jaime Lannister has the sword. Brienne is currently heading back to Winterfell, and Jaime should be heading there as well. There are theories that Gendry has the knowledge and the skill to reforge Valyrian steel swords, using existing Valyrian steel, as his master was able to do this. And there's also a theory that Gendry will be able to create new Valyrian steel, but that doesn't really matter here. The theory is Gendry is going to reforge Ice using Oathkeeper and Widow's Wail. Ice was a ceremonial sword, and it was very large. Valyrian steel is much lighter than normal steel, but Ned Stark never used the sword in battle, as it was just too big. He did use it for beheadings, but never in battle. Jon Snow is not going to wield a sword so large that he can't swing it effectively. Also, 2 Valyrian steel swords are much better than 1, especially one that's not made for battle, unless Ice has some special powers, but I doubt that. And what about Dawn? Dawn is the ancestral sword of House Dayne. Dawn only passes to a knight of House Dayne who is deemed worthy. The knight is then given the title Sword of the Morning. Dawn is not made from Valyrian steel, but rather a fallen star, possibly a meteor, but it's just as sharp and just as strong as Valyrian steel. Dawn was last wielded by Sir Arthur Dayne, who was killed by Ned Stark with the help of Howland Reed. After this, Ned actually took the sword into the Tower of Joy and placed it next to Lyanna Stark's bed. Jon Snow is believed by Melisandre to be the prince that was promised, and it is said that the prince that was promised will be born amidst salt and smoke beneath a bleeding star. The camera does close in on Dawn for a split second, and this could be the show fitting in Jon Snow being born beneath a bleeding star. So will Jon Snow wield Dawn and become the Sword of the Morning, and the one to end the long night? Ned Stark did return the sword to Starfall, which is the seat of House Dayne, but since Sir Arthur Dayne's death, there has been no knight worthy of the title the Sword of the Morning. Jon doesn't exactly have the right to the sword, but he is distantly related to them, as he is a Targaryen. Jon might even be allowed to wield Dawn if it's the only sword in the entire world that can kill the Night King. There are theories that Dawn is actually in Winterfell, and it was hidden in the crypts by Ned Stark, but I don't think that's what happened. No, I don't think Jon is going to wield Dawn, and I know that might be an unpopular opinion. I think the sword was just there for the bleeding star. And what about Lightbringer, the legendary sword of Azor Ahai? Melisandre believes Jon Snow is the prince that is promised, and I think the show is going to use that term to describe all the prophecies involving saving the world from darkness, such as Azor Ahai, the last hero, the prince that was promised. It's all going to be shortened down into one prophecy, on the show anyways. Lightbringer is thought to be the sword made of living fire, and not just a sword that's been set on fire like the one Stannis used, or even swords that are magically set on fire by Thoros of Myr and Beric Dondarrion. There are a lot of debates of which sword Lightbringer actually is, and whether or not Lightbringer is actually a sword. I'm not going to get into all that, but I do feel Melisandre will return in Season 8 and tell Jon Snow about Lightbringer. But remember, prophecies in Game of Thrones have been misunderstood, have been misread, and sometimes they never come true. Maybe the characters become just as confused as us, and they all have their own opinions on which sword Lightbringer is. So this is what I think. Jon Snow will wield Longclaw, as he has done since Season 1. I'm not too sure what's happened to Longclaw in the spoilers. Maybe Jon will get it back, maybe Harry Strickland has it, maybe someone else, maybe the Mountain has it. I don't think Valyrian Steel can kill the Night King, like it can kill other White Walkers. I think the Night King is far too powerful, and he is the source of the magic, and because he has Dragonglass in his chest, he cannot be killed by Dragonglass, nor Valyrian Steel. I think Jon will strike the Night King of Longclaw, but the Night King catches the blade in his hand, and he breaks it. Jon might receive a new sword, but maybe Longclaw is actually forged. Maybe in some sort of blood magic ritual, involving Daenerys or Melisandre or something, and it becomes Lightbringer. I don't think Jon's going to wield Dawn or Ice or any other special sword like that. I think it will be Longclaw, and I think Longclaw could be broken, but after that, I haven't a clue. So let me know what you think. Which sword or swords does Jon Snow wield in Season 8? Will it just be Longclaw? Will it be a reforged Ice? Will it be Dawn? Will Jon Snow wield Lightbringer? And what do you think about the Night King breaking Jon Snow's sword, and then possibly Jon reforging it in fire, to create the only weapon that can kill the Night King? So as always, please leave your thoughts in the comments below, as well as any predictions and theories that you have. Also any video requests or any questions you have for me. So if you want to stay up to date with all the breaking Game of Thrones Season 8 news, see more predictions and theories like this one, hit that subscribe button, as there's going to be a lot more videos to come. And if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like on it as well, as that really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.